Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. Today we are going to be flying the AirfoilLabs King Air 350 based on popular demand. We are currently situated at Southwest Regional Airport in the state of Oregon, and today we're going to be flying to Portland International Airport. Our approximate flight time is 40 minutes and we're going to be cruising at 12,000 feet. Our flight plan is quite simple today. We're going to be departing Southwest Regional, runway 13, fly direct to Oscar Tango Hotel, then direct to Uniform Bravo Golf, then direct to Portland International. We're going to be performing an ILS approach, runway 10 right. For our flight today, I'm going to be following my own checklist, but if you are interested in following the detailed checklist that comes with the aircraft, it is accessible by clicking on the Pilot Operating Handbook here, or by hovering the mouse on the bottom right corner of the screen and clicking this icon. Let's remove the yoke and let's remove the control lock. And now we're good. We can set the parking brake. And we can remove the static elements here and start the GPU. All right, the GPU is on. And it's quite simple to start the King Air from its cold and dark state. So the first thing we're going to do, remove the cover, turn on the battery. Battery is on, and external power is now on. So we have now established electrical power to the aircraft. We're going to turn on the nav light and the beacon light. And we're going to head over here and set the feather to max. And now we're good. We're going to start with the right engine. Okay, right engine is starting, and we're going to observe 13% before we introduce fuel so that we ensure we avoid a hot start to the engine. All right, low idle. Observe here, looking good. All right, and we have a good start on the right engine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn on the right gen. Right gen is on, and we can turn off the ignition. All right, and we can actually now turn off the external power. External power is turned off, and we can now remove the GPU. And we can now start the left engine. So we're going to follow the same steps, and we're going to wait for 13%. All right, 13% and low idle. And we have a good start on the left engine, so left generator is on and the ignition is off. All right, we have a good start on both engines now. So what we can do is we can turn on the inverters. So inverter is on. And we can turn on the bleed air. There we go. And we can also turn on the EFIS power. And we can now turn on the avionics. And we should get our avionics momentarily. There we go. Okay, and let's see here. We need the pitos, so we're going to turn those on. We need to arm the oxygen, so we're going to head over here and turn on the oxygen. Oxygen is now armed. Okay, let's set our altitude to 12,000 feet. Right, 12,000 is set. And we can now head over here to the FMC. Once it's on, I'm not sure why it isn't on yet. Let me see here. There we go. FMC is on. All right, let's bring it up. And let's set our flight plan. So we are... No, that's not what we need. All right, so the origin airport is Kilo Oscar Tango Hotel. And destination is Kilo Papa Delta X-ray. And then we're going to go to the departure. And we're going to be departing, looks like we have the alignment done. Yep. We're going to be departing today runway 13 and execute. And then we're going to go to the flight plan and we're going to enter the first waypoint, which is Oscar Tango Hotel over here. And we're going to fly direct. And then the next page, we're going to be flying to Uniform Bravo Golf and execute. And then we're going to go to the arrival and we're going to select our arrival runway, which is 10 right. And there is no transition and execute. And we're going to head over to the legs page. As you can see, there is a discontinuity which we need to clear, and it is now cleared and everything is looking good now. We're going to go to flight plan VNAV and the next page, and we're going to enter our cruise altitude of 12,000 feet. So that's done, and everything now is looking good. Okay, so in terms of the flight plan, everything is ready. We can put this back here, and we can open the autopilot, and what we need to do is set this to map there, and then we're going to click once, twice to put the FMC display here, and we're going to set the altitude to, beg your pardon, the heading to 130, which is the runway heading. All right, 130, and we need to grab the altimeter, so let's turn on COM1. Let's turn on the radios here. TCAS is on standby. There we go. All our radios are now on, and we're going to set this to 122.0 to grab the weather information. There we go.
Kilo Oscar Tango Hotel Airport Information Kilo 0456 Zulu Weather Wind 116 at 6 Visibility 10 Sky Condition 7000 Scattered Temperature 10 Dew Point 9er Altimeter 3011 Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo.
All right, 3011 information Kilo, and let's set the same
Kilo
thing on the first officer side, 3011. All right, the altimeter is now set, and we are pretty much now ready to go. Let's see here, auto feather. Let's turn that on, and we need to turn on the pitch trim as well as the rudder boost. And now we are pretty much ready to go. Okay. Let's see here. All is looking good here. All is looking good here. Let's turn on the taxi light. All the other lights are fine. And what we can do is release the parking brake now and head over to the runway. All right, all is looking good, folks. And we're going to release the parking brake now. Parking brake is released. And we're going to head over to runway 13 for departure. That's the runway to our right, and we're going to bring the aircraft to a complete stop here at the hold short point for runway 13, and we're going to set it up for departure. There we go, right here. Runway 13. Alright, let's bring the aircraft to a complete stop. Set the parking brake. Alright, so landing lights on. Strobe is on. Taxi lights off. Ignition, auto ignition armed for takeoff. And let's see here. Oh, come on. Alright, so we are good to go now. We're going to release the parking brake.
Approaching 13.
Alright, and let me set flaps for takeoff.
On runway 13, 1,200 meters remaining.
Alright, we are good to go, and let's go.
Auto feather lights on.
Caution,
Airspeed allowed.
short runway.
60 knots. V1. Rotate. Props full. Positive rate.
Right, positive rate, gears going up.
Attitudes check. Gear indicates up. Flaps up.
Right, flaps are going up.
Flaps indicates up. 100 feet to minimums.
We need to reduce our pitch here a bit. All right, and at this point, what we can do is go to the autopilot, and we're gonna engage the yaw damper. Autopilot engage. Nav. Nav is engaged, and we're gonna say climb. Alright, and the autopilot should do its thing now. As you can see, we are following the flight path now. And we are climbing to 12,000 feet. A little bit of turbulence here as we depart Southwest Oregon Airport. As you can see, the aircraft is shaking here. Look at those clouds. They look absolutely gorgeous. And this is, by the way, X-Vision, but I am using the Vivid preset, which has really, really nice clouds. All right, so we can now turn off the ignition there. And I'm gonna ease off there. Let's go here. All right, all is looking good. And ladies and gentlemen, we continue our climb now to 12,000 feet, and as you can see, we are experiencing some turbulence here. But nonetheless, all is looking good. If we take a look here at our flight plan, we are about 121 nautical miles from Uniform Bravo Golf. And by the way, this aircraft does not show you the top of descent, so we're going to have to manually calculate the top of descent. Now, very quickly, on the calculation, we are going to be cruising at 12,000 feet before we actually reach our top of descent. And the platform altitude for our flight is 2,000 feet. So we're going to have to say 12,000 minus 2, that's 10,000 times 3. That's 30, and then we're going to add an additional 10 nautical miles for contingency. That gives us a final distance of 40 nautical miles out to begin the descent, so that we can reach 2,000 feet by the time we are ready to intercept the localizer at Portland for runway 10 right. Right, we're coming up to 8,000 feet now. Alright, looks like we're going to go through some clouds there, and it's probably a good idea to turn on the engine anti-ice. So I'm going to turn those, and windshield anti-ice as well. And we're approaching 10,000 feet now, so we can turn off our landing lights. (2,000 feet to go, and we'll be at our cruising altitude. Alright folks, we leveled off at 12,000 feet, and it looks like we're going to have a rough ride to Portland. As you can see, there's a little bit of turbulence. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit on prop sync, and we're going to reduce power a little bit here to maintain our speed. And we're going to ease off. There we go. All is looking good now. And we're just going to maintain our current speed and altitude of 12,000 feet until we reach the top of descent. So once again, just for the top of descent, we are at 98 nautical miles from Uniform Bravo Golf. We need to be, once we are at poles, we need to be at 2,000 feet, which is the platform altitude, as you can see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 12,000 from 2,000, and that gives you 10,000, which is 10, and 10 times 3 is 30, considering a 3-degree glide slope, and we're going to add another 10 nautical miles for contingency and wind correction and all of that good stuff. That will give us 40 nautical miles out. So when we are at 20 nautical miles from UBG, we will begin our descent to 2,000. I actually might start out 30 nautical miles just to make sure. Okay, all is looking good. And hopefully we'll be able to make it safely considering this weather. But at the moment everything seems good. We have the engine and windshield anti-ice on. Let's take a look here at the back. Really a beautiful aircraft by AirfoilLabs. I really have a lot of appreciation for this aircraft, and I believe it is the very best simulation of a King Air for a flight sim platform. I've been seeing lately the Flight Sim 2020. There's just abundance of the same footage by those who went to the Microsoft event. And everyone is sharing their thoughts on the sim, and it looks very promising in terms of the visuals, and apparently the flight model is something that people are vouching for as well. So there is definitely a lot of excitement coming this the end of this year for Flight Sim 2020. So we'll see what happens, but I'll tell you guys, X-Plane is still a very strong contender to anything that will come out, in my view. They're definitely on the right track, and yeah, it's an exciting time, I think, for us flight simmers with the Flight Sim 2020 by Microsoft coming to the Flight Sim community. Welcome back, folks. We are not too far away from the top of descent point now, and if we look here at our flight plan, as you can see, we are 51 nautical miles from Uniform Bravo Golf. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the ILS frequency for our runway, which is 110.5. So we'll set that here, and there we go, and 110.5, and that is now set. It looks like the turbulence is back again, and some heavy clouds here in the area. And by the way, this is Active Sky, the latest version, so this is an open beta that I'm using. So kind of abrupt weather injection there. Okay, and we're going to set the same frequency on the other side to 110.5. There we go. So it's set and set to the active frequency on both nav1 and nav2. Okay, we're going to set our altitude now. We're going to reset the altitude to 2,000 feet. And let's note 45 nautical miles. So in approximately 15 nautical miles, we will begin our descent towards Portland. And everything else is looking good at the moment. All right, we are now close enough to the top of descent point. So look at those clouds. They look just phenomenal. Really, with the vivid preset. Okay, so we're going to bring up the autopilot here, and we are going to set vertical speed, and we're going to click 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's going to set us down to about 800 feet per minute. A couple more. Ease off on the power, and we have now begun our descent. And just as a reminder, the platform altitude for our flight today is 2,000 feet. We are experiencing some really bad weather here, but hopefully it won't be too much of a problem for us as we begin the descent here to Portland. All right, and at this point, let's go ahead and grab the altimeter. So I'm going to set the radio
Kilo,
back.
Mike, Victor, airport information, Oscar, 0553, Zulu, weather, wind, 036 at 3, visibility, 10, sky condition, 1500, scattered, 1000, scattered, temperature, 8, dew point, 8, altimeter, 3006, advise on initial contact, you have information, Oscar.
All right, information, Oscar 3006.
Kilo, Mike.
And let's set 3006 at this side as well. There we go, 3006, and we are good now. And as you can see, we're still experiencing very heavy turbulence here as we go through the clouds. But we're doing well. Nothing too serious. And we're looking good as well in terms of our rate of descent. All right, 10,000 feet. Let's turn on our landing lights. Landing lights are now on. All right, folks, we are down to 3,300 for 2,000, and we are still looking good. That's our turn for Portland. Really beautiful scenery here of Portland and the surrounding area. And by the way, I'm using Orbex as well as the airport is that of Flight Beam Studios, Portland for X-Plane 11. 800 feet to go. We're looking pretty good. And we're gonna level off here momentarily at 2,000, and we're gonna start reducing our speed as well. The approach speed today is 100 knots. That's the final VREF speed. All right, we're coming up now to 2,000.
1,000 feet to minimums.
All right, we're gonna start pitching up now.
1,000 feet to minimums.
All right, we're gonna let the aircraft decelerate.
1,000 feet to minimums.
Right on the money on our calculation for the top of descent. All right, let's bring the prop full forward. Fuel high idle. All right, we're good now. And here's our turn. We can now engage the approach button. Approach. And the airport should be right ahead of us now. Yep, right there. Perfect. Right, going to about 140 knots. Gear is going down. And second degree flaps. And we're going to maintain about 120 knots now. All right, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot and take over. All right, autopilot is disengaged, and it is my aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. And we want to shoot for
1,000 feet to minimums.
100 knots. There we go, we're looking good now. We're a bit too fast, but we'll be able to correct that momentarily.
.500 feet to minimums.
We're a bit too low.
Approaching.
200 feet to
10
minimums.
right.
.100 feet to minimums. Minimums.
All right, well, we're looking good now. Still a bit too low, based on the PAPI lights there.
100 feet.
100 feet. Looking good.
50 feet. Props full. Props full.
All right, that's a bit of a bounce there, but we made it safely. And reverse. All right, and manual braking. And welcome to Portland International Airport, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to bring the aircraft to a complete stop somewhere right over here, and we're going to take a look at our landing. Well folks, this brings us to the conclusion of our video today. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you have any questions, as usual, please do post them in the comment section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.